So last week we made these 6x6 absolutely adorable, never-ending cards. And that has been, we're seeing a whole bunch of people put these over in the back porch stampers, but several people were saying, how would you make it smaller? So I thought I'll do a quick video. I'm going to show first just how to do it with the measurements, but then I'm going to show you how to deconstruct a card when you get something and want to kind of figure out how to make it. So you'll want to stay tuned for that. I also will connect to, I did this in a 12 by 12 back when we were in quarantine, and you would, show something outside a window. And I just think it was a great card to do. A 12 by 12 would also be really fun to do at a party, something that a whole bunch of people could sign. So, and I actually love, this is my favorite size. I think it's worth the extra postage because this is a wow card. And the 6x6 is so easy because the measurements are the same on both. But I will show you how to do the other because, we dwell in the land of possibilities. So first I'll show you the card. 2 cards. Okay, so we took this one first, and I'm using the same things. So I'm just using some of the same things. Rainy days are better with you. And you see this will fit in a regular envelope. And I think it is actually really darling too. I'm going to set that aside. Here's another one done with floral paper with all kinds of little messages on it. So how fun is that? Okay, so we're going to put that. And here are the 2 sizes. So this is what we did last week. And on my blog, you can go download the project sheet for both of these. So there will be another project sheet for this size, and then there is one for that size. But I love making something like this. So this just shows me, this is 6x6. And you can see both are scored at 1.5 by 4.5 and cut in half across the folds. So we just have them made like this. So we made several of these. Okay. We're going to do the same thing with the smaller size now, but now I have written on both sides because it is going to change. So I have 2 pieces of cardstock that are 4.25 by 5.5. This is the size of a card when it's folded. So this is what fits in your envelope. And so we're going to take here, we'll try to match them this way. So this is my 4.25 by 5.5, and I'm going to score in at 1 1/16 on each side. And again, you can do screenshots or you can go to my blog and they'll be up there. So I'm going to do 1/16. I'm going to turn it around and I'll do 1 1/16 on here. So you're going to notice when we fold, they fold right to the middle like that. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this. I'll do this whole thing because afterwards I'm going to show you how we can do it a different way. Then I'm going to cut this in half. Now, I know, so I can turn this and see. Cutting this in half. This is 5.5 long, so I'm going to cut it at 2 3/4. This time I want my cutting blade. Okay, so I have that. And if you notice, that fits this side of my card. So I'm going to put that aside, and then we're going to come over and turn this side. Now, if you notice on this one, I put it this way, 4.25 by 5.5, because I worked from the scoring that way. When I flip it, I'm going to turn it this way. It is the same size paper. I'm just turning it. So I'm calling it 5.5 by 4.25 because I'm going to score. I want to start with the scoring. So I'm going to do the scoring on this side. So hopefully that makes sense. Now this time I'm going to score at 1 3/8 inch. 1 3/8 on each side, and 1 3/8. So again, when I fold that, they're going to meet in the middle. How cool is that? And I'm going to cut this one in half. So this is 4 1/4, which means when I turn it, I'm going to cut it at 2 1/8. I know some people tell me that they come back and watch my videos afterwards and slow it down or stop, do a point and then stop it. So now this is going to be just like what we did the other day. We're going to make these 2 in the middle, and we're going to put this one right here. I'm going to add, I like using tear and tape when I'm doing videos because it's really easy for you to see what I'm doing. You're going to want any kind of stronger adhesive. So I love using this. Glue would work too. I'm really trying hard to get to light glue. You know, I fight with that. You guys know that. So, okay, so I'm going to peel this off. And now the whole trick that we're going to do is we're just going to lay this on top. It is so easy. So I'm going to put this right up in the corner, which is actually very easy to do. And then I'll take this one off. I'm even going to do it right here so I don't turn it. So it's just really obvious, I think. And I'm going to put that right in the corner there. And then I'm going to do the same. So this one's going to go on top of here. So that's going to go right in the corner, and they're going to be butted up to each other too. Okay, so how cool is that? And now my card is going to just keep turning and turning and turning. So again, remember, you can go get the project sheet. And if it is helpful, I would suggest do something like this, because then this would be my cheat sheet. This, you know, this is what I used on doing it. So it's easy to come back and just do that. So you'll see those things in the blog. But now I wanted to deconstruct this. If you can remember, what's really cool, here are my two pieces. I'm going to use Designer Series paper because it is thinner and I can bend it more easily. So I just think it is cool to kind of just see how this is done. If you remember on both of these, the initial part was to get them to meet in the middle. Well, let's say, okay, I'm going to meet this in the middle this way. One of them meet this way. And because it's thin enough paper, I can just fold this. This is how I'm deconstructing this, to kind of visually explain why and how this comes together. And I want this one to go the other way. So here are my two. And what I'm doing right here is I'm just finding the middle point. So you can see one's the long way, one's the short way. And now I want these to meet in the middle. Let's see if my lighting is very good to do this. But I think once you watch this, you're going to understand. And you could do it this way with this Designer Series paper. But it's also, I think I'm just kind of making the point that once you see how this works visually, then you understand the measurements. See how this one meets in the middle? And I'm going to take this one and have it meet in the middle. And if I can't quite see where the middle is, I can fold it up like that and find it. And then the next one is going to meet in the middle. Now, they both met in the middle, but one is going the long way and one is the other. So that is the biggest trick to remember with this card. So if any of this seems confusing, the thing that's cool about this size, they're both the same because you're working with the same size. Because these are different sizes, we're going to have a long one and a short one. So now we're going to just cut them both in half. So this one is 5.5. So we're going to cut it at 2 3/4. This one is 4 1/4. So we're going to cut it at 2 1/8. So hopefully you'll see where I'm going with this. And I'm going to open these up. And here are my two middle pieces and my two end pieces. So isn't that cool? So I can actually do it this way. So just, I'm hoping that visually, I love deconstructing things. Like if you get something, you think, how do you do it? And then what's an easy way to remember this? And then if you come back, you might need to double check measurements if you come back a few months later, but you'll have this visual of, oh yeah, I remember. We're just doing those halves and halves. And I think, and so the two cards I actually made, because I made these really quickly just to answer this question. So this is like more of an answering a question video. So I just used Designer Series paper because I could just make something really quick out of it. And I will put that in and put that one. And then I'll go to this one. Slowest part is peeling those off, you know. And that's because I never remember take my pick tool when I'm ready to do a video. It's in the other room. Okay. Okay, guys, that is it. And look at this. And you see, it doesn't even matter that these have folds in the middle. It doesn't matter at all. And I can orient my card going this way to go through all the flips, or I could orient it going this way. Now, to put these, so these are going to measure, do you see? So this would be oriented this way or this way, 1 3/4 by 2 3/8. You could do 6 of these, but I also wanted to point out, so here's a couple I did that, but I also think you don't need to. I just thought this was fun, and I could add some other little cutouts, so you can just have fun decorating this as you go through. Because all of these, I did not even add the pieces. So you could add other little pieces, but I just think this is really fun just the way it is. And on this one, oh, that's the one I just did. Got to show the finished one. You know, we could also add other little strips here, so you can be creative, but all you're doing is going down a 1/4 inch. So to get even this size, just remember that 1/4 inch, and it just becomes so easy. But I thought, isn't this fun? And you'll see I used all kinds of different things on this too. And here I just let the paper do the work. So I'd love to hear from you. What size do you like better? I'd love to see you try both of these. Show us what you're making over the Back Porch Stampers. And I will also connect to the 12 by 12 video. It is Karen Titus from Stamping on the Back Porch. And I'm so glad you're here. If you like this video, please subscribe and don't miss a thing. See you later. Thanks.